Mini episode 1542 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You'll want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge Mini episode 1542, our preview of Yellowstone Season 5. I'm FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our top 5 notes of interest about one of cable's biggest dramas. Number 5, will this year have as many weird subplots as last year? Between Rip and Beth taking in and providing tough love to, quote-unquote, the son they never had, John's midlife crisis with the hippie chick, Jimmy essentially getting a backdoor pilot for the 6666 Ranch show on Paramount Plus that will be seen by a fraction of the Yellowstone audience, and Beth not even pretending to be loyal to her new employer Market Equities only to unsurprisingly be fired, there were more disjointed moments than in the first 3 seasons combined. It's still Yellowstone, and it's still a blast to watch, but if the 5th season channels the earlier ones rather than last year, that would be very welcome. Number 4. Jamie presumably keeps his baby mama and kid, but is now owned and operated by a very vengeful Beth. It will be fascinating to see how Beth treats her nephew, since Jamie cost her the chance to have a child of her own. You have to think that Jamie having his new family around him is going to make Beth want to torture him even more. And is Rip ever going to find out what his brother-in-law did? If so, it'll be Jamie taking up new residence at the train station. Number 3. Chief Rainwater has become like one of those pro wrestlers who gets left in catering for months at a time in lieu of TV appearances. He started as an antagonist to John and has been a situational ally on a few occasions, but he's been in the background for a good period of time. It'll be wasting his potential to let this dynamic continue for much longer, so we're guessing that they'll feature him more this season. Speaking of which, number 2, what's going to be happening with Casey? He's had one foot on the ranch and one on the reservation since he first got together with Monica, but that Vision Quest stuff led him to believe that his family is unsustainable. Where does he take this insight, and does he become somebody that Rainwater can weaponize against the Duttons? Number 1, as the 3rd season of the Market Equities subplot marches on, how will John's tenure as governor play out? Not going to lie, we had an initial season preview planned with some focus on John's campaign for governor and how interesting it was going to be to see someone so insular have to forge alliances with similarly motivated businessmen and ranchers. And then we find out that the show is doing a time jump to his inauguration. That is a lot of great material that they chose to bypass. Presumably, Dutton got elected despite the efforts of Market Equities. How much development will they bring to the doorstep of Yellowstone this season? With 1883 going into production last season, it seemed like the writers got stretched a bit thin in terms of committing to story development. Here's hoping that Season 5 lives up to all of the potential of this great franchise. Thank you for joining us for this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.